in your opinion, why is it so important that that fathers out there take the time to do a daily workout?
It's one of those things that when you neglect your own well-being, everything kind of cascades. And it's different ages being a father as well. You know, that the older you are, the more you're trying to keep up with the energy of your kids. And if you haven't got that, you don't feel like you can be that relevant role model as well, because your kids want you to play with them. They're looking for that kind of inspiration to be physical. And if you're not setting that example to them as well, then that's not a habit they're going to get into. But it's one of those things. I mean, I get, as well as fighters, I train a lot of people face to face that are referred to me from local physiotherapists and osteopaths. So I see a lot of the effects of either people that aren't training at all, or that have been doing a lot of repetitive work of the same kind, that's created a lot of wear and tear that should be offset with some balanced training. And if you can just set that example to the kids that you're doing this sort of thing regularly, you're not only going to be creating a model for them that longer term they're gonna be in better condition as well, but you're also going to be in a much physical better state yourself. And it's one of those things that I see, looking at it from more of a father's point of view rather than like an athlete's point of view, that typically I tend to come to it from. As you age, you lose certain physical qualities, and it's actually strength and power are one of those things that kind of diminish past the age of 35. It starts to sort of tail off. You're at your peak around 35 years old, and that kind of tails off on a gradient until you're about sort of 55, something like that, and then it drops off again until you go, basically, until you're sort of 80, 90 years old, whatever you sort of make it to. There's another little tail off. And if you're not working on those qualities in your training, they diminish very quickly. And it's an interesting little fact, actually. If you've got a untrained 55-year-old and a trained 80 to 90-year-old who's been working in the gym and still maintaining strength and power, they can actually exhibit the same athletic qualities, the same levels of strength and power. So it's never too late to start, for one thing. And it's just making sure you train in the right way to hit the right sort of qualities. And it's not just training for the sake of training and perhaps just burning calories. You know, there's a lot more you can do with your training to target specific anti-aging qualities, basically. I mean, when you think of like an older person who's physically unable to get up out of a chair, you know, that's someone whose leg strength is not able to support their own body weight. And that's not a nice thing to see. It's not a nice thing to having to use your arms to push you up all the time once you get to that stage. If you've been working lower body strength, then you're capable of exerting more force than just your body weight. Your legs can exert your body weight plus whatever external load. And then, you know, as you get older, you're still able to stand up out of the chair, you know, and those kind of things. Or if you're still working that force with some explosive movements, that you're still able to catch yourself if you fall off the curb and not be so weak or unstable that you then become injured. Or if a car comes, you can make that sudden movement to get out of the way, whereas a lot of people that are aging aren't able to. So it is a case of use it or lose it. So that for me is one of the biggest reasons to, if you're not training, to start training, so you don't get that slide off. And if you are training, keep it up. You know, even if you have got injuries or excuses or reasons not to train, there's always a way around it, that you can keep working these properties so that you physically end up with a younger body than you've actually got. You know, it's chronological age is different to actually what your biological age is, and you can definitely work to change that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's wonderful.